got you. No matter what. Through thick and thin, you my baby for life. My always and forever. Call me back when you get this message. I love you. 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 I love you.
Yeah. My girl told me that I'm different because I'm distant and not to mention I'm chasing riches. Yeah, and no, I'm not impressed with bitches. That's on your wish list. A lot of niggas caught they fish and kept on fishing, but me, I'm different. I made the most of what I'm giving. I used to wear glass. I guess they just ain't see the vision. They see it clearly. This life appealing. Go grab a camera, come see how we living. Caught with no ceiling, just buckle up if you say she love me to infinity and beyond. Say she feeling me to be honest. Want some Hennessy, but she'll be sipping Douce till the morning. Want some chemistry, but I'm in geometry counting commas. I was flashing light, but they ain't get scared till they heard the thunder. And I usually pass, but they ain't even know that I
y'all know what it is. This is the Sports Time Zone. What we doing on Friday nights, Freestyle Friday, like my man Kelvin was telling me. Yo, got my man 512 Kelvo in the building. Kelvo, what's good with you, brother?
Man, what's the deal, brother Noomsy, man? It's Freestyle Friday, man. We on the Sports Time Zone with my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, to all the our supporters, man, follow us on that Facebook, follow us on that IG, and YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. Noomsy, man. Let's do this, bro.
That's right. Y'all heard Kelvo. We appreciate the support. Much love. Make sure y'all hit like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, every outlet that you can find us. We there. We on TikTok. We on all of that. Them sounds you was listening to just now in the background, that was Lil Douce from Miami. He's an underground artist that we featured right here on the Underground Spotlight. So all y'all underground artists, if y'all still trying to get heard, send us y'all music and we're going to rock out to y'all just like my man Douce from the 305. Also, shout out to my producer, Q the Beat, couldn't make it tonight. My other co-host, TZ Dave, couldn't make it. Shout out to Diesel Pressure, the whole Sports Time Zone crew. We got a dope show lined up for y'all tonight on this Freestyle Friday. So y'all know what it is, man. There was one game in particular that happened on Thursday. That's why I like doing Friday shows, because we get to talk about the Thursday night game that just happened. And boy, was there a game last night. I know a lot of people in Vegas lost money. I know a lot of people, period, just lost money betting money on the Eagles. But we going to get into that. Shout out to my man Spaceman in the comments. I appreciate you, fam. Like, share, subscribe. We going to get into this. Let us know what you think about this topic we about to drop right now. The Philadelphia Eagles just got a hold of that L. They just got a hold of L of life because they just got picked apart and exposed by a rookie quarterback last night. For those of y'all who didn't see it, look, Kelvo, we're going to talk about this. Jackson Dart went in there and lit them boys up. A rookie quarterback now going up against a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Jalen Hurts. And he just went out there and did his thing. And again, the New York Giants were a 1-4 team before entering this game. So they wasn't even expected to be nowhere close to the Super Bowl champions. But a lot of things went on, Kelvo. What was your thoughts of that game last night as you watched Jackson Dart pick apart the defending Super Bowl champions to get his team the dub and lead the Giants over the Eagles? What was your thoughts?
Man, I had the Eagles winning by a long shot, especially after the Giants lost to the Saints. And, I woke up, I took a nap. I woke up a little late and when I tuned in, it was like 13-3. And I was like, oh man. I'm like, man, now I got to tune in with this game because I wasn't even going to watch it. I thought it was going to be a smoke show.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? But the divisional games, the division games are always interesting, especially in the NFC. And apparently, this kid Jackson Dart, he's got a lot of energy and he's bringing a lot of energy to the team. Him and Scatterboo, the running back.
I like that name.
So they brought a lot of energy and the defense came to play and the Eagles offense is not looking good, but I was going to go over some numbers real quick, Noom, if you want, so we can let the people know what was going on.
Yeah, definitely. And while you bringing up those numbers, let me just say this. Like, a lot of this was on Jalen Hurts. And I feel bad because I had Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback this year going into the league, but he is making me look bad. Like some of those throws, he just flat out missed. Like AJ Brown was wide open a couple of times. He didn't really hit Saquon Barkley out of the backfield the way he could have. He was overthrowing receivers that were wide open, underthrowing receivers. It was just a poor performance by Jalen Hurts overall. On the flip side, Jackson Dart was doing his thing. But go over those numbers. Let's compare. Just looking at the quarterbacks. Let's start with just looking at the quarterbacks numbers. One is a rookie. One is a defending Super Bowl champion. But go ahead and break those down, Kelvo.
I got you. So, we had Jalen Hurts. Like you said, he didn't have the ugliest game according to the numbers, but there were some plays, like you said, that he definitely missed. You had a Devontae Smith going wide open on a go route. He had some shots that he missed AJ on. But Hurts went 24 of 33 for 283. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 3 sacks.
Misleading numbers.
You know what I'm saying? And then Dart, he had a simple game. 17 to 25 for 195 yards and a touchdown, but
didn't it just look like he was doing more than that? Like the numbers don't really tell the story, I think, in this game, because Jalen Hurts throwing for almost 300 passing yards. That ain't really how he get down normally. I mean, it's usually the Saquon Barkley show, but when you watch the game, it looked lopsided. So the numbers didn't really, I guess, speak to the way that the game went down. But yeah, Jackson Dart, man, he did it. I know the numbers say it, but what was your impression of Jackson and his performance as you were watching it, the eye test?
Man, so I've been peeping Jackson Dart, since he was, I want to say like a sophomore or a junior at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out, I was kind of wondering, like, what's up with Dart? Where do these guys think about him? And I'm a fan of Dart. Little side quest. I just got to put this in here. I seen a video of him talking to one of his former players, and he was throwing the N-word around a lot. So man, it was crazy. Like he was saying that he was throwing the N-word around a little too much for me, bro. And I was like, man,
Jackson himself.
Of course, yeah, bro. If I find the video, I'll send it to you. But I don't have no reason to lie. That's some breaking news there, Kelvo. For those people,
go ahead.
But let me fit. I just had to get that out there.
Yeah, my bad.
I like his game, but after I seen that video, I was kind of like questioning his character. But we're gonna stick to football.
Okay.
He had some key scrambles. He was a 4-year starter at Ole Miss, so you could tell he was poised. You know what I'm saying? He was calm in the pocket, and he moved around pretty well. You know what I'm saying? He made some good scrambles to convert some downs, and he kind of reinvigorated that Giants defense, because the Giants got a really nasty defensive line. Like they got like 4 or 5 first-round picks on that defensive line. You got Lawrence, you got Burns. You got Thibodeau, and then you got Carter. So you got like 4 legitimate first-round players. All these dudes could potentially be like 10 sacks dudes. It reminds me of that defensive line when the Giants had when they were winning Super Bowls, when they had Omenura and Strahan and all those dudes, Justin Tuck, when they had a
squad. Their defense was loaded.
It was crazy. So, that line came to play. Oh, yeah, Brian Burns, too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that whole – his energy is apparently contagious to the team, and then you match that with Scadaboo. It just took him to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I agree with you. In the eye test and watching them boys, yeah, Jackson Dart – and just to really touch on this real quick, we're going to keep it football, but my boy Q was telling me he thinks Jackson Dart is really black. He does black touchdown dances, and then his last name is spelled with an X, and then what killed it is he rocks a platinum chain while he plays a game. Like I know you've seen the ice around his neck.
Nice,
so
man, but
Q was joking around, but that ain't no pass to use that word. But aside
not at all.
Aside from that, no, I like his game though. He seems really unafraid of contact. He seems like when he sees that lane and there's nothing there, he takes off. He goes through his progressions though. It's not like he just dropped back and he's just taking off. He drops back, he surveys, number 1 ain't there, number 2 ain't there. Okay, he might not look at number 3, but he'll take off. And I like his delivery. I like his release. I like the way that he can stand there in the pocket. He took a couple of shots too, though. One thing I will say, he's got to start learning how to avoid some of these shots because some of those runs were really reckless. I even think at one point he had to go out for the concussion protocol into the blue tent.
Right.
If he keeps that under control, and of course he's a rookie, he's a young player, so it's probably going to take him a while. All he got to do is look at
upside his head one time, and then he gonna be like, you know what, or when he take a real injury, because that's what happens to a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? It happened with Lamar. It happened with Hurts. They all got it out. Well, I don't think Allen's had no real injuries, but once he gets popped one time, he'll like a real good hit. He'll be like, all right,
then he'll be cool.
Yeah.
Q, shout out to Q. He also said, oh, he's young. He got like 1,000 more concussions in him. Like, hold on now. We also said the same thing about Tua, because Tua started getting his concussions young, but now look at him. He can't read a defense to save his life. I said, I swear, boy, them concussions knocked the football IQ out of Tua. Like, it's not because he don't got. No, it's like what? Some of the stuff.
Throw that shot in on Tua, dog.
I had to. So, I mean, no, man. Some of these, I'll be like, what are you? Some of the decisions that he makes, it's got to be a result of them concussions. There's no other explanation for that. But getting back to Jackson Dart, if he just shores up, taking care of his body, limiting the hits and all that, which will come. He got an arm. Like his arm, there's no question about his arm. He can make all the throws. And then he's got Scatterboo back there. That I didn't know he was that good. That Scatterboo cat, he is good.
He's nice, man. Scatterboo is a physical running back. Little CTE guy. He gonna truck you, man.
He watch them hits too, because he runs head first.
Yeah, you hope guys like that have a long, careers in the league, but he plays so physical. And when you play physical like that, it's just contagious. And you can tell the two things about those dudes, especially with Scatterboo, they love the game. You can tell he really loves the game. He wants to play the game, and he really wants to win the game. Yeah. And when you got a guy like that who's, laying it all on the line and bringing that type of energy and passion to it, it's contagious, man. It's hard not to look at somebody, a teammate who's literally laying it all on the line, and then you're on the other side like, I'm gonna just go half. Nah, like you're gonna step your game up to it's just what it is, Yeah,
and not to mention they still got Malik Neighbors who's injured right now, but when he comes back, like what kind of impact that's gonna have on the team? Like they got a good young core. They got a good young quarterback, a good young running back, and a good young wide receiver. Probably one of the best wide receivers in the league already, and he's that nice. So yeah, but on the flip side of that, talking about the Eagles, I don't want to put everything on Jalen Hurts. I know I just, piled it on him just now, but there's a lot of other things going on. A.J. Brown ain't happy. Saquon Barkley ain't getting the touches that he was getting last year. The play calling seems really basic. They running a tush push 4 or 5 times in a row. Like the defense giving up 30-something points to the Giants and to a rookie quarterback. So there's a lot going on with Philly. What's the biggest issue, or what's some of the issues that you see in Philly that's causing these boys to fall off a cliff? Because just a few weeks ago, they was like the cream of the crop. So what happened to them boys now? They done fell off bad.
Man, to me, what I'm seeing the biggest thing is the offensive coordinator, the play calling. You got to give Saquon the ball. You got to run the ball. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' numbers. He's got 8 touchdowns to 1 pick, and he's a percentage under 70% completion. Those aren't – he's at like 68.8, so 69%. Those are good numbers. But the problem is Saquon Barkley hasn't rushed for over 60 yards, I think, in like 4 out of the 5 games.
Good point.
And there's no reason why – you're going into New York and Saquon only gets 12 carries.
That makes no sense to me. I didn't get that at all either. The fans, every time he touched the ball, first of all, they were booing. So I would have just forced it. Like I said, at that point, I would have just kept forcing the ball to Saquon over and over and over again until he break one. Like there was no reason, especially if your offensive, the play calling wasn't there, and then your quarterback isn't really known for stretching the field. I can't really blame Jalen Hurts because almost like we're asking him to be something that he's never been. He's never been a drop back, I'm just going to air it out kind of quarterback. He's a great game manager. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He just won a Super Bowl being a game manager. So let's stick to what got us to the dance. I don't understand why the formula of not giving Saquon the ball and then A.J. Brown. Why not run some RPOs first? Run a couple of give the ball to Saquon a few times and then run a play action and then hit A.J. Brown. I ain't seen none of that. It wasn't none of that going on. It was just straight predictable play calling. Like you said, to your point, Kelgo, the offensive coordinator is calling a shit game for the Eagles. They're so predictable. Like, you know what they're gonna do. And like I said, with that tush push, they rely on that tush push so much. TZ Dave, shout out to my co-host, he said the Eagles have no offensive bag. And that's true. Like they're really basic, really vanilla, real simple, and they ain't really got much to their game. So
if you watch the game, you know, Saquon was getting almost 5 yards a carry. So it's like at that point, it's like you're actually doing something with the run game. But the problem is, like you said, it's basic. Everything, if you remember, if you look back on that game, every snap they took, they were in the shotgun.
They were.
There was like no pistol, no, Jalen Hurts isn't under the center.
No.
I'm literally watching the game. I'm like, dang, they're really in shotgun like every single play. Like, bro, at some point in time, you got to switch it up.
They were so predictable. So predictable.
I don't know, man. They just have way too much talent to be this predictable and this underachieving. And it all starts with Saquon. You got to you got to trust this man and give this man 20 carries. I don't care what it looks like.
Best player on the team.
Because if you run the ball a little bit more, you keep the Giants off the field because obviously the defense wasn't able to stop them. So running the ball is going to help versus, trying to air it out with Hurts. And honestly, I want to say one more thing. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're right. Go ahead, you cooking.
Hurts, he's kind of I heard this from somebody, but he's kind of like a Troy Aikman. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Troy Aikman, he wasn't airing it out all the time. It was the running game, and then he threw it when he needed to throw it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concept that I see as Jalen Hurts. Like he's a great quarterback, but you got to put him in. He's got to be, like you said, in his system. It's got to be 50-50. You can't just be putting everything on his plate because it just doesn't work unless the team you're playing just has a horrible defensive backfield or they're not getting any pass rush. But it's gotta be more balanced. You gotta be more creative. You gotta get Saquon involved. You gotta get him the ball, man. It's like a slap in the face for this dude to not get 20 carries a game after he ran for 2,000 last year, especially in New York, dude. Like that doesn't make any sense. It's crazy.
I think a big part of it too, Kelvo, I think what we're not really taking into account with the Eagles not sticking to their script and giving the ball to Saquon is the whole A.J. Brown fiasco. The whole A.J. Brown coming out making all this noise that he's not happy. He ain't getting the ball how he want. He's not satisfied with the play calling that's been going on. So I think what they did was they tried to cater too much to him to keep him happy, and they end up going away from what their strength is. And they may have to ultimately come to a decision between, all right, is our identity going through Saquon or are we going to feed A.J. Brown? But your quarterback is not conducive to feeding a wide receiver. So I think A.J. is going to have to be the one to go. But not only do we got to hold an L because we all picked Philly to win this game, but you Eagles fans, y'all got to hold this L too. Because I remember that especially you, Gilly the Kid, and all you Philly boys, y'all was doing that that blow the whistle dance and all that eagle dance and all of that. Y'all was feeling good about yourselves and doing it. Everybody was doing the eagle. Even people that wasn't Eagle fans was doing. You seen that dance? I know you seen it, Kelvo. You seen that?
I don't think I've seen it. I don't be up on these dances no more, bro.
Man, yo, they was doing the hell out of this dance. So y'all gotta hold that L. Ain't none of that eagle dance going on right now. And I know y'all boys is hurting. So y'all gotta go back and work on that John, like what they call it, the John. Y'all go work on that John on the court, on the field, because the John that y'all got out there right now, not gonna make it. Yo, giving Saquon Barkley not getting all them touch carries like he deserved it, not gonna make it. AJ Brown sitting there complaining that you ain't getting the ball, so now y'all trying to force him to the ball with a quarterback who can't really throw, and not gonna make it. Coach Sirianni, you letting your offensive coordinator call Tecmo Bowl plays, basic plays that both me and Kelvo can draw up defense to stop. Not gonna make it. None of that y'all doing gonna make it. And right now, Vegas has dropped y'all boys' chances of winning the Super Bowl substantially. It's substantially been dropped. And now I feel bad. I got to hold the L because I had Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback. I had the Philly Eagles going to the NFC championship game. I had all of this, but now I don't know about none of that. So y'all got a lot of. It's not over though. They just 4-2. I mean, 4-2, it could be much worse, but their 4-2 looks bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's especially after you had the 2-hour therapy session the day before, where him and Hurts and Barkley sat down and talked, and it's like, bro, I agree with you though. I think after this year, I think AJ Brown's gonna request a trade.
Come on to Miami.
I would if I was him, because I mean I'm looking at his numbers. He's got 200 yards. He's got 25 catches and 204 yards and 1 touchdown. So those are all bottom numbers in regards to receivers. And AJ Brown, he's an alpha dog, man. He wants to eat. He wants to scrape the plate, and that's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just. I get it as a former receiver. Obviously, I'm not on his pedigree, but when you're a play receiver, you want the ball, bro. You want to get active.
You can relate to him at least. You can relate to what he's feeling.
Exactly. But this is the thing, though. It's not working because you ain't running the ball. You got to run the ball, bro. You get the run game involved. People start coming to clutch. Exactly. You run to open up the pass. You bring that, you get them safeties coming down. That's now the play action's really working. Now when you play action, the dudes really jumping. They really jumping towards the line. Exactly. They biting. So now you're going to have better releases. It's going to look clearer for the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, good point. Good point. Oh, shout out to Prolific Jade in the comments. Nah, gonna make it. That's right, yo. Nah, gonna make it. West Coast in the building. Bay Area, I see. We all look. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe. We got viewers from everywhere. Bay Area, West Coast just chimed in. You got my man's also in the building. Spaceman, shout out to you. But yeah, getting back to what we was talking about, Eagles, y'all got a lot of work to do. But the flip side, the New York Giants, y'all future looks really good. It's like one team's future don't look that good, and another team's future looks like it's on the way up. So y'all drop in the comments how y'all feel about the Giants. If y'all catch this on a replay, which most of y'all do, make sure y'all hit them comments up and share the video. Now, another big hot topic that we just got wind about is Shedeur Sanders finally has been named as the number 2 quarterback. Remember, for most of the season, Kelvo, he was number 3, he was number 4, he was, all of that. But now he is a number 2 quarterback. So first of all, I'm going to say this piece and I'm going to pass this off to you, Kelvo. I got mixed feelings about it because I like Shedeur, and I felt like he should have went much higher in the draft than he went. But being that he fell to where he is now, and then you got the quarterback Gabriel that has the nod over him. I think there's a couple of things. When Shedeur was not initially named as the backup quarterback after they got rid of Flacco, a lot of people was like, well, why isn't he the backup? Why are you still pushing him down? You know, I could see it like this. Maybe the coach, I don't know the coach name for Cleveland, but maybe his thing was, yeah, I don't want to give up my game plan. I want y'all to not know where I'm going or who I'm going with. And yes, yeah, I see that in the comments. We're gonna get on that UT as well. We're gonna talk about that. But what I was saying about Shedeur, I think the coach's plan or idea behind that was just to keep the other team off balance and off guard, not knowing who he's going to go with. Because you have to prepare for both quarterbacks. You got to prepare for Gabriel, and then you also got to prepare for Shedeur. So I think by him holding back and not giving up who he was going to play as his number 2 was more strategic. At least I want to believe that. I want to believe that it was strategic versus he was just not wanting to let Shedeur play. At some point, he's going to play. I think we all predicted at what point we thought Shedeur was going to play. I myself personally thought it would be somewhere around week 9 or week 10, somewhere around there. So I'm still on track for that. But I think Shedeur deserves that backup spot. Now, if they would have, like I heard they signed some quarterback off the street just so they can have 3 quarterbacks now. If they would have put that dude in front of Shedeur, then we would have had a problem. Yeah, I'd be like, yo, what a bomba clot I go on here. So ain't no way in the world you gonna bring somebody off the street and then put them in front of Shedeur. At that point, there is a problem. And Shedeur would need to ask to be released from the team. But Kelvin, what's your thoughts on the Browns finally naming Shedeur as the backup quarterback and how long it took them to do that? And do you make of any of this? What's your thoughts on the whole Shedeur situation as backup?
Man, I think it's just one step closer for him getting on the field. You know, I was hard on Shedeur during the whole draft process and when he fell and everything. You know, I wasn't really hard. I was just keeping it real. Yeah. But I think, you know, this is good. I'm kind of with you. I foresee him. Honestly, I'm hoping the dude they got in there doesn't win any games so they can put him in because I just want to see the brother play. You know what I'm saying? And I got him starting between weeks 8 and 10, no later than 11. He's got to see the field because the Browns have like 2 extra first-round picks, I believe.
They do.
Or 2 first-round picks. So you got to get him on the field. The owner is the one who wanted him drafted, so he's going to play. It's just a matter of time. But it's a step in the right direction. It's just a matter of when. And, you know, I think he's going to do good when he gets in there. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, is Cleveland going to go 0-8 or 1-7? Or not 0-8, sorry, 1-8, 1-7 before they decide to pull the plug and say, you know what, man, let's go ahead and throw this guy in here. But it's a step in the right direction, man. I think this whole process for him has been humbling. I hope it has. And I hope that he's keeping his head down and he's staying ready because, I mean, the dude they got in front of him, he's a small dude. And, you know, he can get hurt fairly quickly. I'm not wishing that for him, you know, by any means. I want him to play and get his fair shot. But, you know, these are headhunters out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're going to see.
Especially for a rookie quarterback. They be trying to take them rookies' heads off, yo. Like, they try to make a point to hurt these rookies. Like they want to inflict pain. Let's not act like football is not a sport where they're not trying to hurt each other. They're trying to hurt him. So it's not that far-fetched to believe that the rookie quarterback they got ahead of Shedeur won't go down in the next couple of weeks or whatever. I don't wish that on him, but I think it don't even have to be that. I think he could stay completely healthy and not win any games. And at some point they're going to have the noise is going to become too loud for them to not let Shedeur get in the game. So that's the thing. But the important thing is when Shedeur gets in there, he's just going to have to make the best of that opportunity because if he doesn't perform or if he gets hurt or if anything doesn't go, you know, the picture perfect way, then they're going to be like, see, that's why they didn't start you. See, that's why they didn't draft you so high. See, that's why, like all of the that's whys and Rex Ryan, man, like, just made some disgusting comments about Shedeur. I don't even want to really dignify that, but Rex Ryan, you got to hold that L for some of the shit you were saying about Shedeur, yo. Did you see the energy that he had for Shedeur on
Rex Ryan is an old school coach, man. He
God,
doesn't like quarterbacks who are arrogant
he
or
don't. He don't.
super cocky.
He
You
went.
know, and I mean, I think what he said was unnecessary, but at the same time, that's an old school coach. He's entitled to his opinion. So I thought it was more funny because I just, for me, I'm looking at it like I think you're assuming. I don't know if you really know it, if he's even doing that. Like, I don't.
Right.
It's hard to say, but
Yeah. It is.
best case scenario, I hope for Shador is that he plays well this year, gets out there, and I hope that he gets released and he gets picked up by a better team, like
A
maybe
team that he can get that
or
won't destroy his career, because I feel like he stayed in Cleveland too long, man. He got to pull a Baker Mayfield and get
nobody
up out there.
succeeds in Cleveland, bro. Look at Baker Mayfield. You got people saying that this dude might be the MVP. Well, he said he's a quote unquote leading candidate for the MVP this year. And Cleveland was like, hey, get the hell out of here, bro. It's time for you to go. You know what I'm saying? He was another dude, like kind of like Shador, though. Really, really cocky in the head, smelling himself a little too much. Remember, he had those stupid commercials every time he turned the TV on. He had those commercials.
I remember that.
Yep, they kicked him out. He went to Carolina, failed there. Went to the Rams for like a year or like 6 months or whatever. Then he went to the Bucs, had to get it out the mud, and won the division 2 years in a row. Got him a new contract. He's playing with his confidence. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's one of those things. But I hope I'm rooting for Shador, man. I like Shador. I just hope that he plays good enough to where he can go somewhere else and play, because I just don't feel like any quarterback in Cleveland will ever succeed. It's just something about that place is just cursed, bro. I'm just keeping it 100.
No, I'm with you on that. I definitely feel like Cleveland is it's a quarterback graveyard. And if you don't get out of there, I mean, look what Deshaun Watson was before he went to Cleveland. And look at what he turned into. Like, not saying that it was all because of Cleveland, because, we had off the field stuff going on. But that level of talent that we saw in him when he went to Cleveland, it was like night and day. Like, he lost all his mojo going there. So I wish the best for Shador Sanders also. I do hope that he gets a chance to showcase his abilities and skills and then get the transition up out of there and find him some glory somewhere else. So we'll see. We're going to monitor that situation as we go along and see how that works. Now, let's transfer and transition over from football, because we got basketball season coming up real soon, man. The basketball season is right around the corner. We got like a couple of weeks to go for that. And some of the things that I noticed as we're going into this next season is the landscape of the NBA, Kelbo. Back in the day when we started watching basketball as kids, there was a couple of international players here and there. We had your Hakeems, we had your Arvydas Sabonises, you had your Dikembe Mutombos. We had it was sprinkled around the league. But now some of the best players in the league are international players. We got Joker, we got Luka, we got SGA. There's
Giannis.
So many. Giannis Antetokounmpo. These are some of the most elite athletes in the NBA game today, right now, and they're all international players at every position, Kelbo. At every position, we've got an international player that's at least in the top 5. So my question is this. It got me to thinking, are international players catching up to American-born players? Like, is the international game, or where these European players and players from these other countries, have their games advanced to a point to where now we're no longer as dominant? Are American-born basketball players no longer as dominant as they once were over these international players? And if so, what caused the change? What made things change a little bit? I'm going to go off a little bit and cook, and then Kelbo, I want you to follow up on this. But some of the things and the reasons that I see why the game has went more, like the international players are more talented and they're giving us a run for the money, is a couple of reasons. Reason number one is because basketball has become positionless. Like the NBA now, you don't have as many traditional point guards, traditional shooting guards, traditional threes, and traditional 4s and 5s. The game is like now where everybody can do everything. Your center can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot. Your point guard, he can get down there and get rebounds and like it's literally everybody doing everything. And that to me is more patterned to the international style of play. Because you watch EuroLeague basketball and them overseas, it's a continuous motion game. Everybody's doing everything. It's not a designated person doing this, designated for that. Everybody does a little of everything. That's one. And then two, these players in the NBA today don't have the advent of going to college as long anymore. So NBA players are coming into the league more just based off raw talent without the actual schooling and without the experience of going through an NCAA tournament, without going through all of that. A lot of these players are just, they playing 1 year in the college and then they hitting it and coming straight to the league. So 2 years, I'm sorry, right, 2 years, then they come into the league. So what we're getting more now is just raw talented players, like players that have talent, but their games aren't as polished and fine-tuned versus overseas. These guys, they're more fine-tuned and polished at an earlier age. And back in the day when the Americans were dominating basketball, these were 4-year and 3-year college players that came into the league and dominated because they had that experience. So there's that. And then the NBA has opened up the game to make it more of a free-flowing three-point shooting game. The three-pointer is just taking over the game, not even considering a four-pointer. So with all these shooters, with all this positionless basketball, and then you got NBA players that's not getting the college experience, I think all of that has contributed to these other countries catching up to us. But what's your take on the international players versus the American-born players in the NBA, Kelbo?
Man, I think you had some great points. Everything you said was accurate. And I was just doing this this the deuce. Like they're doing 1 year and then they like deuces, bro.
Deuces and out. Yeah. 1 year and it's deuces. Like, yeah, they're not staying in college that long.
And I think it really starts. I think it starts like all the way like in middle school, high school. Like these players aren't getting developed. You know what I'm saying? Just sidetracking. Tom Brady, he always talks about how a lot of these quarterbacks aren't getting developed and trained and taught like he was taught back in the day. And I think it's the same thing with basketball. A lot of these players aren't really getting developed. They're not really getting trained on different ways to master the game. Like you said, everybody, it's more talent based. It's like, okay, you're athletic. All right, well, I'm going to show you how to dribble and we're going to just have you dunk in and, I'm just going to let you shoot. Nobody's working on the, there's no post game no more. There's no, a lot of people don't really have that triple threat game like that. It's mainly more just pull up, jump shots, stuff like that. And I think it starts at the lower levels, middle school, high school. They're not really developing these guys. I personally think AAU has ruined a lot of these guys because they're not developing these guys. They're just looking for the most athletic guys, and it's turned more into like an one-on-one type of game, and the fundamentals of the game have been stripped based off the evolution of just people being more athletic and things like that, and it's kind of ruined the game. We got to kind of go back to the drawing boards. We kind of got to wind it back a little bit. Let's keep the post players in the post. Let's keep them off the three. I like watching. One of my favorite post players, even though I hated when my team had to play him, was Tim Duncan. He was in the post, man. He was in the post all day or on the elbow. He wasn't shooting threes. He wasn't, doing all this crazy stuff. He was a real postman, And it's cool to see guys like Jokic. Like, I'm not mad at Jokic because Jokic gets it out the paint too. You know what I'm saying? But they just don't feed the post like that. It's like you said, it's all jump shots and it's all three. It's more like rec ball.
Exactly. And to your point, like that we don't have traditional role players anymore. There's not that guy that all he wants to do is get rebounds. Like all he wants to do is play defense. Everybody wants to do everything. And because you don't have that, and again, the absence of the traditional center, I think is what really, really changed our game. Because we had dominant centers in the era that we grew up watching. There was, the Shaquille O'Neal's. I said he was one of the most dominant center big men that I've ever seen. Prior to that, there was Kareem's. Prior to him, there was Bill Russells and Wilts. We've always had, thank you. We've always had dominant centers that kind of anchored our teams. But now it's not like that anymore. The centers today shoot threes. You got Wemby, who's 7'5", who camps out at the 3-point line. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but he's an international player. And we're looking at Wemby like, he's eventually could possibly be one of the greatest players in the league or the MVP of the league at some point.
We'll see.
We don't see that in American-born centers. I can't look at an American-born center right now that I can say this player at some point he's going to be an MVP or we don't see that right now. We got it. To be honest with you, some of the top players in the league, like I said, are international. SGA is probably, if not arguably, the best two guard in the league right now. Or is he a point? What do you put?
He's a point, but he plays both ways. So he'd be the best two-way guard in the league.
There you go. So when you see that, and then Joker arguably
the best man
between Joker and Embiid, and neither of them was born in America.
Right.
So and then you got Wemby coming right behind them. So what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is the international players, I'm not saying that they fully caught up to where we are, but if they ain't all the way there, they damn near there.
They're coming up the pipeline for sure. One thing we gotta remember too is the competition over there in the international league. It's they ain't no punks over there, bro. And they be taking basketball serious too. And a lot of these, you got to look at Luka, bro. He went pro at 13.
Yeah. Well, I think with the legal drinking age over there is like 12. So them boys be drinking beers and smoking cigarettes from the time they come out of their mama. So like they're bred to be tougher and hardcore. A lot of these kids, they started playing against grown ass adults when they were kids.
That's what I'm saying. It was a lot more competitive over there. And like I said, man, they ain't no punks, bro. You know what I'm saying? That the game is evolving. These dudes are really out there getting it out the mud. And I think a lot of these NBA dudes are kind of soft, man. In America, that is. I think, the luxuries we have and all the pampering that these dudes get starting from like middle school, high school and up can make them kind of soft, dude. That's just my own personal opinion.
I agree with you. They do get coddled. They do get pampered. They starting to teach kids how to flop and take charges and all of that. So, yeah, the American game has gotten much softer. You could just look at the officiating and see the way the game is being officiated now and see that it's softer. With the absence, except for last season in the playoffs last year, that's the most contact that I've seen these refs let these players get away with since the 90s era. So shout out to y'all refs. Last year's playoffs, it was letting a lot.
It needs to be like that, because you get tired of dudes looking at the ref every time they get fouled. Bro, just play ball, dude. All right? If you're good enough, you're gonna get the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Some of these players don't even get hit though. Like as soon as they miss a shot, it's almost like it's instinct to turn and look at the ref. Like without even no contact, they just shoot, break the shot, and look at the ref.
The ref like, bro, you just airballed. I ain't about to call nothing, dog. Like, you need to get back on defense. You out here.
They holding their arms up in the air like, yo, such a blood clot. Take a seat right now. I'm with you on that. The game has got softer, but we still got a basketball season coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So with the NBA basketball season on the horizon in a couple of weeks, there's a couple of different storylines that's coming up that I'm interested to see. Like, I can't wait to see what your boy Kevin Durant looks like with Houston. Now, I hate to see that Fred VanVleet went down. So VanVleet I don't know how long he gonna be out. They say he might be out for a minute, like the whole season. Is that?
I think so.
I don't know. It looked like it. It looks like he's got a back, and then he got hurt like in the off season, which is crazy to me. But anyway, so there's that, and then Zion. Y'all don't know if y'all seen skinny Zion. That boy Zion on that Ozempic. What them women be taking out at them weight loss pills. Zion then took some Ozempic. He's skinny. Like he out here like looking like me. I said, God, is that brother Noomsi or is that Zion? No, but I'm interested to see what that looks like, how Zion looks. I know my Miami Heat, we didn't really make many moves this offseason, but I'm still interested to see what the new look team looks like without Jimmy. I'm interested to see in Golden State with Jimmy Butler having a whole offseason now to mesh with Steph and Draymond. What Dame Lillard went back to Portland. So now how is he going to be an impact on the younger players there? It's a lot of storylines. What are some of the things you're looking forward to seeing? Not to mention LeBron James might be entering his last season for your Lakers. But what's some of the storylines in this season that you're looking forward to?
Man, one is, we got skinny Luka, man. We got Luka in shape.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Luka on the Ozempic, too.
I'm excited for that, man. He wasn't on the Ozempic, bro. He was overseas. They pissed him off in Dallas. So he went home and he got right, bro. Don't do Luka like that.
I ain't gonna put the Ozempic on Luka. That was all natural.
Yeah.
Luka.
We got LeBron out for 4 weeks with a glute injury, and I don't know what that's about. But
minimum 4 weeks. Minimum.
I'm not worried about it, man. I mean, I want to see. This is Luka's team, so I'll let we didn't really make any moves, but I'm interested to see how Dallas looks. I need to figure out the return timetable for Kyrie. But Dallas, they got Cooper Flag, they got Thompson. Megan Stallion Thompson.
Clay taking the stuff. They say, boy, Clay eating good now. Megan been cooking him them good Houston meals. Yeah. So now let's see. But if Clay come out shooting like hot garbage, we gonna blame you, Megan. So you better get the boy right for the season. The minute that he ain't playing good, I'll be like, it's too much twerking in the house.
Let's see what Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis can do. You know what I'm saying? We got let me see. I'm looking I'm trying
Mr. Glass is crazy.
Glass, man, Mr. Glass, bro. The Knicks, I'm interested to see what the Knicks do. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks got a new coach, Mike Brown, a brother. Apparently he's supposed to open things up for him on the offensive side of the ball. So let's see what happens. There's rumors speculating that they might trade for Giannis. If that happens, that will be insane. We got the Sixers.
I hope that don't happen. We won't hear the end of Kev and them New York Knicks boys. I pray God it don't happen. But go ahead.
They need a break. It's been almost 70 years, or probably more. But I think Joel Embiid is going to rob the Sixers for another year of
why y'all doing Joel like that? I remember once you said it was too big. He didn't get on the Ozempic. But what if Joel get on the Ozempic and he come back skinny Joel? Would you change your feelings about him?
I mean, is he going to though?
Probably not.
No. I mean, he's what I'm saying? Like, bro, they've been telling him this for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Bruh, 300 pounds. You need to lose about 50 pounds, dude. You need to come down. You're too big to be running and jumping and stuff.
That's why he keeps getting hurt. You said that on the show. Right. You said that, yeah.
Sounds like, bro, you need to come down. So we got the Mavericks. That's who I'm looking at. We got my Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Knicks. I'm keeping my eye on them. Let me see.
What about the Pacers? The Indiana Pacers. Them boys was just in the finals. You think that's a fluke? Was that a fluke? Is Tyrese Snow Bunny Halliburton? Is he gonna become like the next Magic Johnson, like we expected him to be? Like, what do you make of that? But before that, you know what I gotta do? Because
Yes, it's magic, it's a blessing. When I die, I'ma go to Snow Bunny
Hey,
heaven.
hey,
Snow
hey.
Bunny heaven.
Tyrese Snow Bunny Halliburton.
Bunny heaven.
Shout out to the Pacers and Tyrese. Hey, I had to do that. Y'all know Snow Bunny Halliburton be getting it in. But yeah, so you think that was a fluke year for them? Or do you think them boys got what it takes? Because their team is still the same team that they had. They still got that
They
depth
lost,
and all that.
they lost Miles
Oh,
Turner,
they did lose.
but
You're right. They lost Miles.
I think I personally want to see Halliburton take it to another level, man. I want to see 25, 9, and 7 Halliburton. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's normally around 18 to 20 points a game. I want to see this guy get about 25, 9, and 5 or something like that. He's gonna have to up the numbers for me. I'm not too worried about the Pacers. You know,
Nobody was
I'm
worried about him last year either, though, Kelvin.
I know. You gotta prove himself again. That's just kind of how it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really interested to see also what the Spurs can do.
That's the big
I
one.
want to see what Ja can do. I'm a big Ja fan. Remember, like I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, they were looking like they were like this.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like after the whole gun situation, you just kind of plateaued.
Yeah.
So I really want to see Ja bounce back. And you know, Anthony Edwards, man, let's see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna take that next level? Because people was really trying to anoint him as like the next. And it's like, let's slow down a little bit. This brother is still young.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Well, that's a lot of storylines. That's a good one too. I do want to see what Anthony Edwards does this year. Can he get his team to the next level? Boston Celtics, you got Jason Tatum who's going to be out for a bit, and then Brown. Yeah. So what are they going to look like? The Orlando Magic, they started looking promising with Paolo Banchero and those boys down there in Orlando. You know, and again, you know, my Heat. I don't think a successful season for us comes unless we are not a play-in team. We have to make the playoff. We got to be a top 16 in order for this to be a successful season for me. I want to see that. I want to see if Spo switches up how he plays the guys, because we lost a lot of guys. We didn't just lose Jimmy Butler. We also lost Duncan Robinson, who went to Detroit. So that's a guy who could stretch the floor for us. Even if he's not making threes, he had to be accounted for. Tyler Hero is starting off the season injured because he's hurt. He ain't going to start. He's missing like the first month or two of the season, which to me, I think he's injury prone anyway. But that's a whole nother story. So we're going to be without him. You know, we did pick up Precious Achua. So I like that pickup, bringing us some rebounding help, somebody to help Bam Bam.
You got Norman Powell. He's been dropping about 23 a game for years.
That's a big addition too. So, you know, we lost some things, but we did gain some things too. So I want to see what the Heat look like this year. I'm interested in. I'm looking forward to it. And OKC, you know, a lot of people are saying that OKC can win 70 games this year. I don't see it. Nah, going to make it. Man, I don't see them winning 70 games. Maybe 60, because they're coming back reloaded too with that same squad. And I don't really see nobody like Phoenix ain't going to really mess with them or contend with them.
Trash. Houston is the only team that I can see that could really get up there and challenge OKC. Lakers, depending on if everybody's healthy and everybody's firing on all cylinders, I think we can challenge them.
Minnesota, maybe.
Minnesota. I think they're going to get everybody's best game, though, you know, for sure. Now, being that you are the champion, it's written in stone. You're a champion. You're an MVP.
Everybody coming for it now.
So now, yeah, everybody's going to be like, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? You guys aren't just that one team that's, you know, that good regular season team that flames out, you know, in the playoffs. You are legit. So now you're going to get everybody's best shot. Every game is going to be a game. People are going to look and they're going to see OKC and they're like, all right, bet. You know, we might have a losing season, but when we play the Thunder, we're gonna see what's up.
To come with it. Yeah, they're gonna bring their A game. So now we about to really find out if y'all really about that smoke. Because last year ain't nobody really expect y'all to do nothing. Y'all was the young up and coming team. And the hell, they're young. Look at them run. They can do all of this. But now it's where shit gets real. Because people gonna be coming at y'all like the headhunters. So y'all OKC boys, y'all got to get ready. This whole NBA season, I'm ready for it. I can't wait. We're going to do a special. We're going to have a kickoff, a tip-off special show right here on the Sports Time Zone the week before or a couple of days before the NBA season tips off. So we're going to have everybody here. Hopefully we can get Kelbo if we're blessed enough to have Kelbo come for that show. If not, then, you know, we always get some via satellite information from him. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This season is going to be a special one, but we still got a lot more football to go. Now, man, that hour went by so quick, man. This was a really, 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 really dope show. Make sure for those of y'all, again, who are watching this on the rewind, that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Now we're going to get into our 2-minute turn up. And for this 2-minute turn up, my edition of the 2-minute turn up, I want to touch on something, and I'm going to, be real brief. And I know Kelbo also has opinions on it because we did kind of debate this topic on a prior show. But there was an incident in Dallas, Texas, where a young lady was coming out of a store. She held the door open for somebody else who was coming into the store. And the person who came in didn't say thank you for her holding the door open. So instead of her just being like, all right, she didn't say thank you, I'm going to keep walking, she begins to start an altercation with this young lady because she didn't say thank you. It led to them getting into physical fisticuffs, which then led to the young lady who held the door open, pulling out a strap, shooting and ending the life of this other young lady who she held the door open for. Now, the young lady is now behind bars, facing charges. Looks like it's going to be, I don't know if it's manslaughter, murder. I don't know what it is that she's facing, but she's facing that. And now the lady who's a mother of kids who was just trying to go into the store, I think it was a Petco store. I don't know what store it was. If y'all know what it was, drop it in the comments. But I'm saying all that to say this. And I know, Kelbo, you have a different opinion on this, but I got to say it anyway. If America don't have a gun problem, and if it is just a mental health problem, two of those problems equals one bigger problem. One of those problems being removed will probably lessen the blow of the other problem. If we know America is up there in one of the top countries in mental health problems, but at the same time, they're up there as the top countries of people that have guns and gun violence. Those two don't make a good combination. And it ain't no way in the world we're going to resolve everybody with mental health issues. People are born with mental health issues. That's going to happen forever. What we can control, though, are those guns. We can't control how many guns are being put out there and how they're so easily accessible for our people. I ain't going to go on my gun control rant, but I just want to say that because condolences go out to that lady. And they're saying that the young lady just got angry. The young lady who shot her just got angry because she didn't say thank you for holding the door open. And now we got one sister who's lost her life and another sister who's going to be behind bars, all because she had a mental lapse or a mental anger or mental health issue or whatever it was. But even she was able to get her hands on a gun. So America, y'all be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And I get it. You got to protect yourself. But, man, I really feel like we need to do something about all of these weapons that we got on the streets. And we got college football coming up tomorrow. Go Hurricanes. Go Miami. I want us to win. All that good stuff. Rah, rah. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to E.H. I also see you out there, Jacksonville, Florida, in the building. Duval. Holla at your boy. Y'all know what it is. But that's my 2 minutes. Go ahead, Kelbo.
Man, I just wanted to say, bro, I mean, condolences to the sister who got popped. It's crazy, man. It's spiritual warfare out there. People has got these demonic spirits. That's what it sounds like to me, man. It's a demonic spirit. When somebody doesn't say appreciate it, that's obviously not worth murder.
Right.
But I'm just one of these guys who's not. I just can't push pro-gun control, man, because any civilization who gives up their guns becomes an automatic communist dictatorial country. I just feel like America's got a spiritual problem. Is it hard to regulate guns? Yes. The only thing I would say is, condolences to that sister is, these guns don't kill people themselves. It's the people. So it's the person that we got to really figure out. We got to figure out what's going on with these people. We got to figure out a way to treat these people. I'm definitely in favor of stricter requirements. Maybe we start doing real, if you want a gun, maybe you got to get a real health and wellness check. That's the only thing I can really think, because they do background checks. But if you have, I think, we should look into, or at least consider, hey, man, if you want this gun, all right, well, you just got to go to this place and they got to give you a legit, wellness check. Got to talk to you. Maybe you take like a little 30-question test or whatever, answer some questions, figure out a way to just, gauge a person. But that's also another tricky thing because, a lot of these people are, it's hard to tell because people are just super calm, super collected, and then one little thing happens and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to gauge. It's a difficult situation. But it's like Noomsy said, man, you just got to be safe out there and praying for her family, and hopefully the Most High have mercy on this sister because you never want to get popped going to the store. That's but it's just tough. It's a tough situation. We might have to dedicate a whole show to.
Y'all stay tuned for that. We're gonna have to have an episode to talk about that because I didn't want to do it justice, but I wanted to bring it up at least in a 2-minute turn up so that people are aware of it. Y'all Google it, y'all YouTube it. It's out there. That story, it's really big story right now out of Dallas, Texas. So,
but my Longhorns play tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Hook 'em.
We took an L last week to Florida. It was tough to watch, boy, but. Man, I'm really hoping we dig deep. We about to see what these boys are about, man. Hopefully the coach calls a good freaking game and runs the freaking ball so that way we can be a little bit balanced. Kind of like the Eagles. We're sitting here throwing the ball all over the yard when we need to be running this mug and then throw it. Run to open the throw. Don't throw to open a run. That's backwards. But we'll see how it goes, man. And just last but not least, man, y'all need to get out there, man. Get active. Get in the gym, man. Start eating healthy. Start eating clean, man. Start looking into detoxing. You know what I'm saying? Parasites is real. Ringworms is real, man. A lot of y'all is walking around here with parasites and you don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? So detox, eat clean. You know what I'm saying? Work out, do a little jog, get your steps in. You don't got to go crazy like me in the gym, but get in there and break a sweat, man, and build some muscle, man, and stay blessed. And you know what I'm saying? Move with wisdom. Keep that iron on you just in case you run into somebody who might try to shoot you because you might have forgot to say something when they was holding the door open for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's more to that story, though. There's got to be more to that story.
We're going to get the backstory on it. We're going to hear more on it.
But yeah, other than that, man, y'all stay blessed, man. It's Friday, man. Take it easy.
Absolutely, man. We thank y'all all for joining us once again. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We about to take y'all out with one of my favorite underground artists. He's also from the 305, Miami, Florida. This one is Doggy Collins called Pull Up On Me. For my co-host, Kelvo, I am yours truly, brother Noomsy. This is the Sports Time Zone. And I also want y'all to stay safe and holler at us on the flip side. We are out.
I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Are you ready? I'm about to pull up on you, baby. Ready or not, baby, the dog's here. Now let me whisper something nasty in your ear. I can get you high and shiny like a chandelier. And baby girl, together build a pioneer. You say you got a man, but what you walking for? You say he do it big, but I don't see the boy. I can put these butterflies on your inside and try to knock them out from the backside. Oh baby, my. Don't make the dog try. I'm Mr. Plumber Man, unconditional lover. Man of my gun.